Hi, I'm Brian Vinson. I'm a line haul supervisor for highway transport and a previous driver trainer. Today we're going to be discussing highway policy SF061, which is coupling and uncoupling procedures. What we're going to discuss today is proper coupling and uncoupling procedures. Now I position the truck, and the first thing we need to do is inspect the fifth wheel. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do before I even check is make a 3-point exit from the truck. And before I couple, the first thing I want to do is inspect the fifth wheel. The primary things that you want to look for in inspection of the fifth wheel is the plates, bolts, proper greasing of the fifth wheel, and that the jaws are locked back in the open position. I also want to physically come over, make sure that I am visually open, locking jaws. As you can see, the plate is well greased, and all the bolts and plates look secure and solid. That is basically 101 of checking a fifth wheel before you hook to a trailer. Okay, now we're going to discuss proper coupling procedures. What I've already done is I've already lined up the power unit in alignment with the trailer that we're hooking to. Now that I've set the brakes on the tractor, I have to get out and check for height. That's the first thing you want to do after you're lined up with the trailer you're hooking to. As you can see here, I'm a little high on it, so I'm going to need to make some adjustments to the landing gear so the kingpin is more level with the fifth wheel, and the fifth wheel actually makes contact on the kingpin plate. Right now, as you can see here, we have way too much clearance. The kingpin itself and the plate is too high in relation to the fifth wheel. So now I'm going to make adjustments to the landing gear. Discuss when we're ready to couple. We position the truck up, the power unit up, lined it up with the trailer that we're coupling to, and now we once again are inspecting our height to see if we're too high, too low, or just right, as they say. In this case, as you can see here, we are too low in relation to the fifth wheel and the kingpin plate. Now, when you are coupling, you do want the front of the trailer to rise a little bit as you hook. But in this example here, this kingpin plate in relation to the kingpin and the fifth wheel is excessively low. So we need to make adjustments to our height for proper coupling. Okay, now I've made adjustments to the landing gear, and as you can see here, now the fifth wheel is making contact with the kingpin, and it is at proper height, so we can go ahead and finish hooking up. Got proper height. The next thing you need to do is hook up your trailer airlines and the pigtail. On the glad hands, it's very important to make sure that the glad hand gasket itself is smooth, not cracked, chipped, broken, or otherwise compromised. Check the same thing on the trailer itself. Lock these into position, and they're very telling where you can tell if you're fully locked or not, plus you will physically feel it. Again, same thing on the glad hand. And lock it into place. Pigtail, power source, plug that up as well. Now our emergency and service lines are hooked up, and our electrical connection is hooked up. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in the truck. I'm going to start the truck back up, and then I'm going to charge the trailer brakes, okay, before I start to back up. Once I charge the trailer brakes, then I'll reset them, release my parking brake, and then complete the couple. procedure vital, but this is extremely vital. What we need to physically do is press in the handle to make sure the handle is seated itself. Now we're at the point now where we need to check the fifth wheel and inspect the fifth wheel. This is a vital part of the procedure. All the parts of the procedure are vital, but this is extremely vital. What we need to physically do is press in the handle to make sure the handle is seated itself. Then we need to come back around underneath the trailer, physically get under the trailer, and what you want to do is visually inspect the locking jaws on the fifth wheel. Now on this particular unit we have painted the jaws of the fifth wheel a fluorescent orange. So as you can see, that is visually what you need to see to make sure the locking jaws on the fifth wheel are properly secure and locked. Now I've almost got the landing gear up properly seated. And you want to have the landing gear all the way up, because you don't ever want to go down the road with the landing gear not properly raised, too low. If it's too low, you could hit a speed bump or something, rip the landing gear off, cause a lot of different damage. Another issue that you want is you want to make sure that this handle is properly secured. You don't want to have it dangling down here like this, flipping and flopping in the wind as you're going down the road. Plus, the only thing that's holding this heavy handle on is this one bolt. If that bolt breaks and this handle breaks free, it can cause a lot of damage and or an accident. So you want to make sure once your landing gear is up in proper position to secure your landing gear handle, and there is typically a holder on the landing gear itself which properly secures the landing gear. Okay, now that we've successfully completed our coupling procedure and stuff, we've done everything else that we need to do, we're ready to take off. Now one other step I do to ensure that not only is my fifth wheel locked, but my trailer brakes are operational, is I'll go ahead and release my trailer brakes. They'll finish airing up. As soon as I've released them, now what I want to do is release my parking brakes. Now all brakes, tractor and trailer, are released. I'm ready to begin trip. So I go to start forward. Now as I pull slightly forward, what I want to do is hit my Johnson brake, or the trailer brakes. This is the Johnson brake here, what is commonly known as the Johnson brake, and I'm holding it, and as you can see, it stopped the truck itself. So not only did I confirm that my trailer brakes are operational, but I confirmed once again that my fifth wheel is secure. Okay, now we're going to discuss uncoupling, proper procedure for uncoupling a trailer. What we've done is we've positioned the truck where we're going to drop it at. Prior to me exiting the truck, what I did was I had the trailer brake set, and then I released the parking brake. I put the unit in reverse, and then I backed up against the parked trailer with the trailer brake set. What this does is it relieves the tension on the fifth wheel, so when it comes time in the procedure to release the fifth wheel, it should release freely. Okay. Now, the first thing we need to do that we're ready, we're going to come around here to the landing gear. Our airlines, pigtail, electrical connection, and fifth wheel still locked. We have released the tension on the fifth wheel, but the first thing we want to do is the landing gear itself. Now, in this particular case, this is an empty trailer. So what we want to do is we want to take it on the high side, roll the landing gear down, okay, and again, that was in the high side. Now what we want to do, since it's an empty trailer, we want to make sure the feet are loose, okay, on the pavement, all right? Now if this was a loaded trailer, the difference would be once we get it to this point, we would put in the low gear, then we would fully seat the feet on it in low gear, on the ground in low gear, and then give it a couple of cranks. Now this is for a loaded trailer. The opposite of that, for the empty trailer, we want to leave the feet loose and free, like this. Now once we've done this, we can go ahead and store the handle, and then we would proceed doing a walk around the trailer as we come back to the other side. Okay, now that we've position the landing gear properly positioned to drop a empty trailer, we've done a walk around back here to the glad hands and the electrical connection, otherwise known as the pigtail. Before we release the fifth wheel, we want to disconnect these. With the trailer brake set and the parking brake set, you can go ahead and remove the emergency and the service air lines from the glad hands. Then disconnect your pigtail. And you want to properly secure pigtail and your glad hands in the appropriate holder. Now that we're disconnected from the glad hands and the pigtail, we can go ahead and release the fifth wheel. Reach under here, pull, back towards you, and lock. Okay, now we're ready to release the fifth wheel. Position yourself properly where you got a good stance. Grasp the handle, pull it back toward you, and then lock it into place. Once you've done that, you have successfully undone the fifth wheel. Okay, now to show you what you do inside the power unit after you've successfully uncoupled the truck from the trailer and you're ready to pull the tractor power unit out from under the trailer. Okay, first thing you want to do, get in the driver's seat, and then of course you want to lower your suspension on the tractor itself. On this particular unit, it's this button here. What's happening right now outside is all the airbags on the tandem drives are lowering. Okay, this will allow the landing gear on the trailer itself to slowly settle down onto the surface that you're dropping. Once you've successfully lowered your airbag suspension, then you want to go ahead and release your parking brake, put the unit in drive, and then slowly pull out from under the trailer until you are completely disconnected. And part of it is it's all brand new, so it's all stiff. So, good.